17 years ago on this day, Spyro: A New Beginning was released. Pretty crazy, right? Now, I didn't play this game on release, and as a kid my parents had the first Spyro game, Spyro the Dragon, and I loved that game. At the time, I was a silly kid that didn't really care about Spyro or the story. I was mostly like, ooh, dragon, roar, 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 fire, fire, fire. But when I was about 8 years old, I got The Legend of Spyro: A New Beginning. That's when things changed for me, and mostly got me into the Spyro franchise. From the strong character story of the main character Spyro, all the way down to the unique gameplay mechanics in the game, completely shows how much effort was put into making this game. That's not even mentioning the music of the OST. I mean, take a listen to it. I felt like this game had everything, and yet, it was like the most hated game for no reason. Yeah, I can understand the story is a dark action and fantasy story writing for a kid's game, but that is what kept me focused in the story, and I'm sure that's what it did for a lot of other people too. Not just because Spyro had a serious tone story writing, but also the side characters in the story, and throughout this trilogy, which brought more flavor and colors to Spyro's growth as a character. Except for you, Sparks. You were always the smartass of the group.
But if we see danger, we should run, right?
There are times when all of us need to stand up to danger, young Sparks.
Yeah, maybe next month, next summer, perhaps next year.
From all the 4 element dragons, Ignitus, Valtyr, Zero, and Terrador, my favorite one would have to be Ignitus. I feel like he was that one mentor that we all had at some point in our life who knew how to bring out the best of you and give you a meaningful encouragement to give you that final push that you need to succeed.
Just forget everything you ever thought you knew. Forget yourself. Only through forgetting will you remember what your ancient blood already knows. You can fly.
That's what gave Spyro that final development by the time you face Cinder. Well, for me at least. Which reminds me, hey, sis!
Cinder.
Is it because of her design or anything like that?
You should at least watch the story.
Cinder. Cinder is monstrous, horrific, ferocious. A black dragon that fills the skies with terror. An unstoppable force of nature.
Yeah, I can't blame her because I like what they did for her redemption story and character build up further down the series. But maybe I might give that its own video. Now for the game mechanics. I can understand why people said it's too hard or it's a little too complicated at times, which let me tell you, there has been times that even I wanted to throw the controller and punch the wall at times, especially when it's fighting certain bosses through the game as a kid. But the thing I realized that made this game even more unique is that the creators of this game has a set for you to try every element in the game and use a variety of those elements to your own playstyle. Like if you love to use quick and powerful attacks, you use a combo involving ground and fire. But if you're more strategic, then you would use lightning for faster attacks and ice to slow your enemy's movements down in your combo attacks, which I really enjoy. You don't see that in a lot of games back then for younger audience. Most of the time, they would create a game with a purpose where you would need certain requirements and abilities to pass certain bosses, but in this game, it's more of the player's attack preference, which is more satisfying for me. Yeah, I can understand a lot of people would be upset in this series. There is no side quest or even little events for you to do when you're finished with the game, or even during the game. But for some people like me who are easily distracted, I'm okay with that. But everyone's different, so it just depends on your preference. But hands down to the voice actors, you really can tell they put their hearts out in voicing them. And I still can't believe Spyro's voice actor is voiced by Elijah Wood. And my sister's favorite dragon, Cinder, had a couple of famous voice actors, from Cree Summer, Mae Whiteman, and Christina Ricci. Overall, This game is very dear to me, and forever will be a favorite part of my childhood. I just don't like how people are trying to compare the two. They shouldn't be compared at all. They are different and unique in their own way, and that's what makes them great if you ask me. With that being said, happy 18th anniversary to this series, and I hope one day we get this game remastered. If you guys enjoyed this short video, please leave a like or even subscribe for more like this. I'll be doing more video games and especially anime content in the future. I just couldn't help but make a video about my favorite childhood video game, especially on its 18th anniversary. If there's anything I've learned from this trilogy, it's to get to know the real you and embrace the inner you. Don't let anyone tell you what you are or what you're fated to be. Be true to you.